Hey everyone, Jason here, and welcome to episode 8 of Jason's O-Gauge Trains. Now I didn't intend on filming episode 8 so soon. There are several review videos on my list that I'd like to film and post in the near future, but I've made significant progress on the layout since posting layout update 7, specifically lots of progress on the third level. So much in fact that if I didn't address the progress now, it would be a big distraction in the background of my future review videos. So today, I'm going to show you the progress that's been made and bring you up to speed on what's new on Jason's O-Gauge Trains. Quick disclaimer, I'm not quite as organized for this video, so you'll have to forgive me. When I'm hard at work on the layout, things become a bit of a mess and equipment is scattered all over the place, honestly. But hey, building a layout's a messy progress and things get a bit dirty. Before we begin, I want to highlight the shirt that I'm currently wearing, which I got from GFW Trains while at York. I mentioned getting this shirt from them as a gift on my York recap video, so a big thanks again to GFW Trains. Make sure you follow them if you don't already on YouTube. And I also just received a gift from one of the fans of this YouTube channel. Gray Rich sent me this Norfolk Southern t-shirt as a birthday gift. It has a bunch of the Norfolk Southern heritage units on it, many of which I have in my collection. Really cool shirt, and I want to personally thank Rich for sending it to me. It's a really cool shirt, and I appreciate this nice gift. So I'm going to do a walk around of the layout, highlight the third level, and comment on some of the other things scattered about the layout. It's going to kind of be all over the place, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get started. I hope you guys are ready, because here's your first look at the beginning of the third level. So walking down the basement stairs, and we look up, a quick pan of what's been done for the start of the third level. What do you guys think? Don't worry, I'll get into the details here in just a second. But just want to let you guys enjoy a quick overview of how things are currently looking down here. So let's start with the left side of the upper level, because this is where I started. Me and my friend Mark spent a whole day getting this platform built and installed. I initially thought that this was going to be the easy part of the upper level. It actually proved to be a bit more challenging than I had anticipated, but I'm very happy with the way it came out. Now, before I started building the actual upper level platform, I did cut 2 more access holes towards the back of the layout. You can see them in the pictures here. So there's actually 3 access holes just under the left side of the layout alone. That way I have access to the track to clean it or get to any trains that may have derailed underneath the upper level. As you can see, the upper level is supported by these 2x4 risers. These are cut 7 inches in length, and then this is 1/2 inch AC plywood on top. I used 3/4 inch on the main table, but I could get away with 1/2 inch on the upper level. Now, some may argue whether or not risers are the best method used for building an upper level, but it's the technique I used on my old layout, and it served me really well, so I went ahead and did it again. And as you could have seen by the thumbnail, this upper level supports my weight no problem. I used many risers, and as long as you space them correctly and you add some extra support for the vulnerable areas, such as this beam right here that I built over the access hole, is going to support your weight, at least my weight, let alone the weight of the trains. So it is a very sturdy platform, and it works well for me, so that's going to be the method that I continue to use. Let's take a look at the 2 tracks that are laid here right now. Now this track is just in place temporarily. I haven't added cork, I haven't nailed it down yet, but I have to start putting it about where I think it's going to go so I can continue building the bench work and make sure there's going to be enough clearance for the trains. This outside loop is actually an 081 curve. The inside loop is going to be 072. And since we're here, I guess it's worth showing you the design for the upper level. Try to ignore all of my drawings and marks and notes there. That was all used to help build the dimensions of the upper level, but as you can see from this drawing, this is what I'm planning on building, or this is what I have started to build. So that gives you an idea of what the track plan is going to look like. If we look towards the back, there is actually a crossover switch connection back there. That connects that inside loop to the main line of the upper level. That's something I didn't have on the old layout. That's going to allow me to switch trains from this track to this track. I'm also going to have it wired so that this inside track can be switched between command control with MTH-DCS or Lionel Legacy, or I can run trains in conventional mode. Oh, and since we're looking up here, you might have noticed this Norfolk Southern Heritage Series box. Yes, I did buy a new Norfolk Southern Heritage unit. Which one did I get? Well, maybe you were able to see on the side of the box, but I'll keep that a surprise because I plan to do an unboxing and review of that engine. That'll be coming very soon. But let's get back to the progress made on the third level. Similarly to my old layout, I'm also going to have a siding towards that back wall. You can see right here there's a number 5 switch towards the back wall. That's going to go into a spur. Going to have some kind of coal mine scene or maybe a steel mill scene. Haven't decided yet, but another idea that I brought from the old layout. A lot of people have commented how this upper level looks so much like the old layout. And yes, you're right. It is a big improvement on the design I had on the old layout. This layout, I don't think people realize it's more than double the square footage of the old layout. So I'm able to realize things on this layout and in this basement that I wasn't able to at my parents' basement or where the old layout was built. So everything here is a little bit better, sometimes a lot a bit better than the design of the old layout. So anyway, moving on. This section here really quick, you might have noticed I sunk the base of the signal so that it's flush with the table. I think it looks a lot better. It's a much more prototypical height. Looks really good when the trains go by. And here's one of those girder strips that I picked up from York. This is going to go in place right here. I might need to cut off maybe an inch off of it so that it'll fit there, but that's going to look really good. And there'll be a sloped wall here and a sloped wall coming down. Lots of grass and scenery and trees here. This should look pretty cool. And you may or may not have noticed, look, I got my MTH Premier Hudson back. Stockyard Express put a new motor in it. They did a great job and it is running flawlessly. Really happy that I got this repaired and that it's back on the layout. Moving on back to the third level, if we come over here, you'll see an Atlas girder bridge. This is a really beautiful bridge. I didn't realize it when I ordered it, but it's actually made out of metal. So it's very heavy. It's just sitting in place temporarily right now. I'll build some new supports for it to hold the support of the bridge as well as the plywood for the third level. This was a real goofy piece to have to cut. I did a lot of measuring to make sure that the length for the bridge was right and that the tracks could pass under it and then go into kind of a makeshift tunnel that still hasn't been built, and plan for walls that haven't been built. Trust me, it was a process, but I'm really happy with the way it came out. And if we continue to the right, you'll see the track then parallels itself and it has an option to cross over. That's what will turn the upper level into a optional reverse loop. Could go around the loop there, take the crossover, and it'll be going in the opposite direction. And then this is where you kind of have to use your imagination because this area is still under construction. But I did go ahead and assemble my 2 Atlas Pratt truss bridges, and I think they look beautiful. These kits were surprisingly easy to put together. The first one took me, I don't know, maybe an hour or two as I was learning and didn't want to rush or mess anything up. But once I had the first one done, I had the second one done in like less than an hour, except unfortunately I was missing the 2 end pieces on each side of this bridge, but not to worry. I emailed Atlas and they have already sent the missing parts in the mail, so big thanks to Atlas, thanks to their customer service team. As you can see, there's a missing track to connect to that piece, and then I have to build the bench work leading up to the bridge. Okay, walking, and there we go. Here is the platform going along the back of the wall. A little better view of what's going on down here, and as you can see, there's still track pieces missing. Getting a hold of track these days, particularly Atlas track, has been a bit of a hassle, but I've just got about all of that I need. So this is another Atlas number 5 switch. So the track, the closest to the wall, will be where the ramp starts to come down to the lower level. It'll connect with this track here, which I'm still kind of sizing up as to where that's going to go. But it's going to ramp down, no, not this track, this track. It's going to ramp down, and finally connect with that switch. These are Woodland Scenic's transition ramp pieces. This will allow me to make a smooth transition to the ramp. It's flexible, and I'll probably put 2 of them together because the size as single strips are, I think, intended for HO. So we put 2 of them together, make it work for O gauge or O scale. So anyway, that track is the ramp up to the top level, and then the inside track will connect to this piece, which will be elevated to the same height as the bridge and the rest of the upper level. So that'll curve around and lead to the bridge. This inside track, this is 072 here. This is actually 090. This is 099. And then if I come back, it's 072, 081, going to the back section. And then all of the top level is either 072 or 081. No, there hasn't been any progress made on the turntable area, but trust me, the turntable is going to be installed very soon. I kind of had to cannibalize some track from this area in order to work on the upper level, but that's what you got to do when Atlas track is scarce and you're still acquiring all the pieces. But nothing done over here yet, but don't worry, it's coming. And now that we're over here, hey, look what else has returned from the repair shop. It's my MTH Premier PS3 Big Boy, the restoration version. As some of you may recall, this has been in the repair shop for a very long time, but fortunately, Stockyard Express was able to fix it. It was a very rare defect with the drawbar harness. I won't get into it right now, but I'll just let you know, it's very uncommon, but Stockyard Express was able to figure out what it was. It's fixed. I've been running it like crazy, and it's awesome. I plan to do a review of this engine very soon. And then continuing back towards the near side of the layout, it's kind of a scattered mess right now of tools and pieces of wood that I'm using to build the layout. Here's an interesting little engine. This is a MTH Rail King Norfolk and Western J. It's actually the only Rail King engine I own. I got it when I was pretty young in a ready-to-run set, and it's now the train that I run around my Christmas tree. And so I brought it out and I was just testing it, making sure the battery was charged and that it was running well, and it is good to go, ready for Christmas. Oh, and I forgot to mention, my little maintenance of way yard here has pretty much been totally cannibalized. All of the all the tracks that were extended out here, all that track was used to build the upper level. So if anybody wants to sell me Atlas 10-inch straights or 40-inch straights, because those are really hard to find, hit me up. I need some pretty badly. Here's that new GP40 that I picked up from York. I've got it paired with my GP38. They're pulling the Triple Crown road railer train. There's a bunch of engines that I had to take off, so I wouldn't step on them while I was building. And I just want to highlight this view right here, because once this area is complete, I've got trains running on that bridge, this is going to look really cool. I do plan to sync the bases of those signals as well, but I just love this shot. I think it's going to look really good in the future. So what's next? Well, as I kind of mentioned already, I need to build the upper level bench work for the curve coming around, meeting back up with the back wall. I need to build the ramp leading up to the elevated section back there. Simple enough, but the execution, probably not going to be so simple. So stay tuned. I hope to have that done, and I really want to have trains running on this upper level by Christmas time. That's my goal. I think I can do it. Just be patient with me, guys. It's a lot of work, and it's not my full-time job, so I get down here when I can. So what do you guys think? Am I doing a good job? I think it's looking pretty good so far. As I mentioned already, it is very similar to the old layout, but in my opinion, it's just a little bit better in every single way. And as I mentioned, it's more than double the square footage of the old layout. I can run more trains, longer trains, bigger trains, better operation overall. I'm really happy with the way this thing's coming together. Well, that's going to do it for this layout update. Not a particularly long video, but I think enough progress has been made that it was worth making. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'll hopefully hit 9,000 subscribers here soon, and then I'll plan on doing another live stream. I'll leave you with footage of the trains running like I always do. Feel free to ask questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.